I know I can do anything despite being a very petite woman, that I can also move bicycles, fix bicycles, doing everything. Nothing stops you. Like, don't set limit to yourself. I always care about empowering people. The education is a very important toolkit, and I personally benefited from it, being able to elevate myself, do more, making more impacts. I know that it's an industry that requires tons of resources. It is centralization at the epic. You have to get lots of data, you have to get lots of capitals, lots of trainings, electricities, all those things to make it fundamentally work well. If you see internet, how big is that industry? $1 trillion. Financials industries, $1 trillion. And blockchain has the best opportunity to be the value chain systems for the internet.
I'm giving away $100 in every episode. All you need to do is to comment your favorite part of the episode along with your Twitter account, hit the like button, and the winner will be picked up every single week.
I feel like Mr. Boom. Yeah.
Hey guys, today we have a very special guest actually, and she's one of the strong women in Web3 that I call strong, and she's very, very humble. Not based on my relationship with her, it's based on people worked with her actually. And she's the CEO of the largest mobile app, decentralized wallet. Let's start. How are you?
Hi, Elja. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for
and thank
coming.
you for your intro. Yeah.
Tell us who you are at the beginning, how we start, and then like what's your name, where are you from, and then before we go to the Web3, your background. How did you start? What did you work, etc.
Let's start. For sure. I'm Eowyn Chen. So originally I was born and raised in China, southwestern part of China, a city called Chengdu, where pandas are from. But then from after high school, my life has always been in the US until recently moved to UAE.
You moved fully to UAE?
Yes.
Okay.
Family is here. So it's like I have my Eastern experiences, and my formative years are in the US. All my professional experiences, education are in the US, and now I'm in the Middle East, kind of in the middle. So before Web3, I did lots of stuff. When I was in college, I actually founded an education startup when I was in my senior year.
What did you study though in the college?
Do you want to have a guess?
Economic?
Yeah, kind of history.
History, okay.
So I was actually a science student back in China, but when I went to the US, I wanted to learn something I couldn't learn in China.
Yeah.
And then, humanities are taught in a very political narrative way. So I was like, I know how to study science. I know how to do math. I got a scholarship for it. I wanted to learn something that my brain just not in tune with. And history is like very data-based detective story. That if you have to really form a good thesis, arguments, or a storyline to understand the truth, you have to really dig deep into the data points. But you never have perfect data points, so you have to make good assumptions, which now I describe that it's every decision-making framework requires.
Sure.
How do you make decision without perfect information, and what is good enough, and what's reasonable? So that was a really important learning, I think, for me. That was what I studied back in college.
That was in China?
That was in the US.
In the US.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the first job you had, or you jumped right away to Web3?
So I was I did education nonprofit when I was in high school. That's why I always care about empowering people. The education is a very important toolkit, and I personally benefited from it, being able to elevate myself, do more, making more impacts. So when the internet Web 2 space that allows, information sharing through the tools of technology, I was very excited about it. I thought this could democratize educational resources, kids can learn better. So I jumped into doing a startup there, but you fail miserably. And you know what? It was a great failure. I was fortunate enough to go to Harvard, but the failure for me, my senior year in my Harvard life, what makes me realize that no one cares you fail.
True.
And then sometimes I saw a lot of my college friends getting hostage with thinking that, I have to be successful. I have to do certain things. I have to be in certain glamorous industry or having material things to demonstrate that, hey, I'm worthy of it. I think that early stage failure makes me realize that it doesn't really matter. You have to focus on still what's the most important thing you care about to do and make an effort for it. If you fail, it doesn't define who you are.
True, 100%.
Come back again.
As long as you tried your best, actually, not
Yes.
just allowed the failure to come.
Yeah, and you realize that failure and success doesn't define you.
True.
Other people may use it to define you, but as long as you know who you are, what you care about, what you're aiming towards, and you are always on the trajectory rather than hitting a destination, you always will be growing. And I think that was the most important thing with a failed education startup. But the theme carries me into Web3, which I will touch upon later. After that failed startup, I was fortunate enough that my internship company in New York still kept my offer. So I was very, very grateful for them. So I came back. I went to a consulting company called Oliver Wyman, who was specializing in financial services. That working in New York, working with banks, insurance company, gives me the first-hand understanding about how archaic the technological infrastructure was. It was still kind of the early 20th centuries. Everything settlements, clearing is really, really painful. And it was also in 2014 at that time I first heard about Mt. Gox hack. Bitcoin was a fintech theme in the narratives. It was not on its own yet, but that got my interest in just the exposure of it. After consulting, I just never see myself climbing the corporate ladder. I don't want to give up my family life, my relationship, which were most of the female in those industry have to do, is that you have to work your butt off, make partners, have no relationship, and then until you make partners, then you have a life.
True, 100%.
I love my boyfriend at the time, a husband, is that, human relationship matters to me more than short-term success. So I gave up the consulting job without another job lined up, moved to San Francisco, and kind of dive into startups well. At that time, there was a trend for micromobility. If you heard about like bike share, scooter share back in 2016, 2017, and it was very interesting to think about, hey, contributing to environmentals, and this was an innovation coming from the East. Could they actually spread across the world, having the same model be successful like a Silicon Valley companies to the rest of the world? So I was very interested in how to help globalization of a startup company to scale. So I joined a bike share company, helped them to break into the US market, specifically in the California area. And that was an experience that helps me that during the daytime, I would talk to city councils trying to convince local government why they should open up the roads. In the afternoon, I work with the blue-collar workers and fix the bicycles in the factories myself. So that was a moment that also, there's no job that it's glamorous. There's no job that was just low level. You got to do everything.
Of course. As long as you
want to
sweat when you are doing your stuff,
Yes.
So. When I say sweat, it doesn't really mean physical sweat, but you really work hard.
It was physical sweat.
for this one, yes, for sure.
Yeah. But that was a good learning that I know I can do anything despite being a very petite woman, that I can also move bicycles, fix bicycles, doing everything. Nothing stops you. Like, don't set limit to yourself. But I realized that was not a good cash flow business. It was very heavy. It doesn't sustainable. And then I left that industry. That was the moment back in 2017, the hype of the ICOs in San Francisco. Half of the guys in the city are talking about some sort of shitcoin. It was like when you go to the grocery, grandmas are talking about buying stocks. I'm usually a contrarian person. When everybody is talking about, hey, you needed to buy some cryptos or doing this and that, I have a harder time making proper judgment call because there's so much emotions, and I know I'm subjected to those emotions too. So
I think if you don't mind, you can hold my wallets for the bull market because I always get emotional and I don't sell. Well,
maybe in bull market you probably should balance your assets a little bit. But those are the moments I don't know how much I can dig into the truth in 2017. So when 2018, the market crashed and I left my previous job, I thought now it's more interesting to look at that. I always believe in technology can enhance human society, even though it doesn't change human nature. The two technology I was looking at that time now are all buzzwords, are AI and crypto. But digging into it, crypto was at the very bare. Everyone's leaving it. No one's speaking good about it. But there are a couple people that I truly admire, engineers, builders. They do believe in it and continue to develop in it. Sometimes the first draw for attraction is by people. People embody the passion that they believe in it. That was made me feel, hey, there might be something there in the blockchain to dig deeper. AI though, because my husband at the time was doing AI investment into the deep tech, I know that it's an industry that requires tons of resources. It is centralization at the epic. You have to get lots of data, you have to get lots of capitals, lots of trainings, electricities, all those things to make it fundamentally work well. And I think ideologically it just doesn't really align with me, especially balancing between the East, the Chinese, and the West. I feel like my personal ideologically tend to go towards how to decentralize or empower day-to-day people more. And the pivotal moment for me to coming into the crypto are, sometimes you do get luck. I met the co-founder of Binance. And she was the first person, like
which is Hui.
Okay. She was the first person that really articulates that if you see internet, how big is that industry? $1 trillion. Financials industries, $1 trillion. And blockchain has the best opportunity to be the value chain systems for the internet. And that was like, boom. Yeah, if you immediately connect with my mind about why I think fintech is just an internet skin on top of archaic 20th century technology, right? It definitely has opportunity to evolve for a better form. So her articulation narratives really, really got me. And the whole ideas about decentralization was also extremely attractive because I do feel that AI may be solving production problems for the society. Blockchain can solve distribution problems for society when the production comes out. And I wanted to work on how to help empower normal people. So that theme just makes me very hooked onto the blockchains since the day-go. And then funny enough, He at that time negotiated 30% pay cut out of me to join. And I'm a believer of God. At that time, it was also a coincidence. It was a struggling time for Binance, honestly. Like 1 year into it, and this very capable woman was alone abroad, living on the couch of a friend's living room. Who can imagine that? And I feel that at that time, God was just telling me, you know what, maybe the most important thing that you can help is just the woman in front of you. And then that's what I ended up doing. I joined her just be her assistant. I was not doing what people think fancy stuff, Binance was doing. I was paying her medical bill. I drive her to doctors. I was helping her to find English classes. Meanwhile, I help her to do...
Actually, I know you for a long time. That's the first time I hear this story. It's actually very inspiring.
Yeah. And then, she didn't speak English at that time. And she was amazing in terms of, speaking from just hello into now she can do English public speaking. She's inspiring by herself. But then at that time, I was helping her to be effective. I try to be her mouthpiece, translate everything for her, helping her to manage teams. At that time, Binance just had global community team in 2018. And I was taking every opportunity I can learn from her by how she thinks, at the same time adding value to her just to help her.
She's a smart woman.
Yeah,
and very focused.
She is. So that's how I got into the crypto industry. Not with a fancy job, but actually with a pay cut, doing, very scrappy work. But I added my value and then I learned a ton at that time.
So the first time you left Web 2, you jumped to Web 3 was through Binance and through Hui. then what happened from there?
Yeah,
Because the history from there definitely started to change.
Yeah, I was just this little assistant, right, trying to be humble and do everything, whatever she wants.
You're still humble for sure.
When Binance's grow, her responsibility grow, I just wanted to help her. So whatever that she has needs, I jump onto it. So there was the moment that Binance needs to build up the marketing team beyond just community team. So I helped to build the first centralized marketing team, including the performance marketing, thinking about SEO, ASO, advertisement, lifecycle management, all those things. So I just try to stay focused on how can I do my part well, helping the people that I'm leading to be the best version of themselves. And then when they deliver values, results, there are more needs Binance, the organization has, and my scope just keeps increasing until before I left Binance to join Trust Wallet, I was leading the global marketing team for Binance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you left from Binance right away to the largest wallet, or you went to BNB chain?
No, I just went
from
Binance to Trust Wallet
to become the CEO of the largest decentralized mobile app in the world.
Yeah, you'll be like, well, how did that happen, right?
Yeah.
Why did I make that transition? If you remember in 2022, end of 2021, 2022, in the last rounds of bull market, this is where a lot of you talk to Rachel, this is where the brand marketing starts to happen.
Sure.
Lots of partnerships with athletes, with actors, with sports club, everything. The focus was on how to drive the Web2 or traditional users feeling affinity towards the crypto industry to come. So a lot of my job and my focus, even, the grueling moment for me in the executive table with Binance was around, hey, FTX did this brand projects or partnership. Why didn't you guys do anything with something else? But at that time, I feel I was really struggling with understanding the ROI with a lot of the brand partnerships, because once a brands know that, hey, we're in the crypto industry, they will ask 2x of the price than any other like consumer normal tech industry. And I was like, this is extortion. This is like overpaying for the value that you will be getting. Then I have a harder time with my own risk appetite to be able to do this because I didn't have that background, the skill set. So Rachel is doing a much better job nowadays. And I was like, I'm definitely learning a lot by dealing with those agencies, thinking about the creative studios, thinking about how to package the brand partnerships. There are tons to learn. But it is further and further away from the reason why I get into the industry. I'm learning completely Web2 stuff. I'm not close to the technology. I'm not close to what is coming out in the industry and how I originally thought the decentralization and ownerships are happening to people. So I was at a moment of a little loss. Can I stay with what I'm learning? Yes, I can. But there is this yearning or confusions in the back of my mind. And those are also serendipitous moments. When Binance acquired Trust Wallet, it was 2018 when both companies are 1 year old. So when I joined Binance, that was also the time I met Victor, Trust Wallet's
which is
founder,
the old founder
and CEO. And Victor is a fantastic guy. And he was the first person that helped me to set up decentralized wallet. He was like, hey, how do you hold your crypto? And be like, hey, here's my Binance account. Yeah. You'd be like, no, but that's not really your crypto, right? And BNB was cheap at the time, $5. So he was like transferring me 5 BNB and then help me on the spot set up a Trust Wallet on the mobile, on the go. And he said that, here you go. Now you have your real crypto. And the magic of having ownership just like creeping into my heart. Because once you realize that, hey, this is your stuff that no one can manage it for you. If you lose it, you completely lose it, but no one can also take away from you. This is this very dynamic feeling of, this is
responsibility
mine.
And freedom.
Yes, this is mine, but I have a responsibility to it. Amazing feeling only by just having those at that time cheap, like five BNBs, right? $25. Yeah. But it has a magical feeling of cultivating my understanding about this is a value of decentralization and self-custody, which I think is the foundation for everything the decentralization has to do with afterwards. So when I always have this grateful and magical feeling towards Victor. And then I was just hanging out and be like, hey, dude, what are you up to? And it was like, I'm so tired of doing everything else outside of product and tech. I'm looking for someone to help me. I'm looking for a CEO and be like, I wanted to help you, but I don't want to be the CEO. I just want to help you. You know, you probably get my theme. My theme is like, this is something I do believe in. It's passionate. Someone is doing it. I just wanted to add value to it. Yeah. So it's like, I can come to help you out. And then I talked to Victor. Victor said, yeah, that might work it out because our skills are quite complementary. And then I talked to CZ and he thought that, yeah, maybe you two can work really well together. And boom, the decision is done. Then I did my transition in 1 week. Then I joined Trust Wallet. I was ready to go, really wanted to help out Victor. And 1 or 2 weeks for me into the job. And he was like, you know what? I'm having a baby soon. And Victor, you know, being an entrepreneur is a tiring job. And he take a lot of family toll. So for his family, he did want to take a step back. He wanted to fully dedicate his time to help to grow and support his family. And he said, I know you joined because you want to work with me. Do you want to reconsider that? And I'm like, okay, but what are you going to do with the company, right? Like, who do you want to handle this whole tech engineering stuff to? And he was like, I don't know yet.
Typical Victor.
It is very Victor. He made a decision, and I could walk away. I could have walked back to Binance and just said that, hey guys, just kidding. I can continue to work here.
I didn't sign for this.
But I was like, Trust Wallet was a really good product with no operations, no growth, no marketing, no BD, nothing. But it grows to a significant foundations for many of the new users coming into the industry. It will be such a pity to not let it stay along and have something to carry along. So I thought, okay, I totally understand where you are. I can help you to carry the girl. I don't know whether I can be this position for long, whether I'm capable of it, but I will do as much as I can to help carry it. So then I ended up took over Trust Wallet. This was probably the first time they had such a full-on, story behind the scene publicly. And it was a 20 people team. And my first job was actually doing war zone evacuation because as soon as I joined the team, the Russian-Ukraine war broke out. Oh. Victor is a Ukrainian American, so we have lots of developers. 70% of our teams are either in Ukraine or Russia. Okay. And I was like, I didn't thought I joined a blockchain startup to do wall evacuation. Yes. But for business continuity, we have to move teammates out. So that was the first thing I was just helping out with the team on. And then I was so humble and be like, I don't know enough about the product and tech. How do I learn? I wanted to join meetings just to understand what everyone's talking about and help me on ramp. So I talked to one of our engineers, said that, can I join your meetings? They said, sure, but we're talking Russian. I guess that didn't help very well.
That's new. Usually I know people are talking Chinese.
I was like, should I learn Russian now? Or should I figure out a way out to help the team transition to English? So that was the second humbling experiences that I have. And then there was always crisis after crisis with the team beyond just product engineering, such as because Trust Wallet, we are a bigger brand. Then there was a IP trademark. Someone registered our IP earlier on and extorted Apple to delist us globally. And then Apple did delisted us globally. So I had to figure something else within few days because it's blocking everybody to be able to use the product or getting update for security updates or something like that. So all those things are one thing after another, but those crises are golden moments for me to build trust with the team. And they'll be like, I don't know this petite woman can do, but it feels like she solves some of our most difficult, challenging moments for the blockers. And even though I was joining a full male team, my teammates are extremely supportive of me and educating me, helping me to grow, to be familiar with everything. So that's, again, the whole theme. If anything that the audience in their professional career are thinking about is sometimes people calculate too much about here's what I wanted to go to and how do I calculate each of the steps to go there. But sometimes just deliver values under the moments, focusing on what's
Trust
the
me,
right
many
thing to
people
do.
at every step you had in your life now, which most of the people listening for the first time do have that maybe left or resigned.
Yes.
And you couldn't continue. I mean, you are a strong woman, that's for sure.
Yeah. You get troubles everywhere, but if you think, hey, and again, I think my faith helps me. God puts me where I am. Is this challenging? Is this struggling? Is this perfect environment? No. But maybe this is the moments that I can do a little bit, trying to help solving one problem at a time, making one improvement at a time. And then it will be a better place. As long as we believe that this leads to a value, then sometimes the most important thing is don't leave the table. If you want long-lasting, sustainable impact, no matter as an individual or as a company, don't leave the table and then making improvements one at a time. Then you will figure out. Will you make mistakes? Yes, I still make tons of mistakes. I get feedback every day and be like, why do you guys do this? That's stupid. Yes, we make mistakes, but don't leave the table. As long as you're on the table, you have chances to do better.
But I always say, I mean, everyone make mistakes, but
Yeah.
next time don't repeat a mistake.
Yes.
Repeating it is no longer
Yes.
a mistake. It's a decision basically.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I've been in this industry again many years,
Yeah.
and I've seen people quit,
Yeah.
and I've seen people get irritated with the easy money in Web3, which is the bad ways and the fishy ways and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and they change and they lose their ethics and they lose so many things, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen someone actually a few days ago, and he asked me if CZ is back. I said, I heard he's back, but why you guys thinking he's my cousin? Like, we don't even speak. But they said, yeah, we miss him. I mean, some people, they come to the space, they let a legacy to be inside.
Yeah.
And not much, trust me, and very few can do that. Let's go now to what is Trust Wallet
Yeah. Yeah.
as a product now. People who doesn't know Trust Wallet, what is Trust Wallet?
Yeah. So the most simple plain term is Trust Wallet is a software that helps people to manage their key, which is the first step on the blockchain, and people can own themselves. The second is to simplify blockchains and all the things utilities on chain and present opportunities for users. So we are a platform. We help the users, we also help projects, because ultimately the industry has to grow with both sides growing. If only users grow, projects are being taken advantage by the users, getting all the airdrops to the minimum. Projects won't grow. There's nothing useful coming out of it. But if projects are taking too much advantage of the user base, then there's no one to play. So we're a platform that we feel very grateful and privileged that we have tons of user base, and those are users that has opportunity to grow more valuably. And then on the same time, there are projects that need to access the user base. So we're figuring out how our own product, our own platform can both give users the convenience to explore Web3 with confidence, and at the same time helping the project to get the proper growth that they need. So this is very abstract. Coming into concrete terms is that what do users need to do with Web3? If they just do key management, that was 2017. Then they need a multi-chain. Then we expanded to 130 chains at the moment. Now they need to do fiat on-ramps. They need to swap better. They need to figure out better earning opportunities. Then you see all those modules of those features coming out with Trust Wallet. Of course, we need to improve on all the user experiences along with the tech behind the scene. So that is what people's basic needs for keeping assets safe and being able to do basic financial management, on-chain assets management. On the same time, we're talking about it behind the scene is that there is also this growing Web3 exploration.
True.
Besides DeFi, what else can Web3 offers or blockchain offers? This is a much blurry area. The product market fit is not so clear. So every startups are coming out are trying to prove if they can make product market fit. And I think many of the users in the industries and outside are also very curious about what do you guys have to offer. So this is what we want to become a discover platform to help users to discover maybe there's product market fit, maybe there is not. But giving people a better chance to discover project and giving the project a chance to build on-chain communities to be discovered, to see if they can prove their product market fit and grow to the next level. This part that I described is very blurry. I will be very honest right now. What is the right product experience? What's the right discovery experience? What's the right operational rules for them to do? Unclear for the entire industry. But we are also wanting to take some bets to explore what this might come and shape to be without sacrificing the core user experiences in the DeFi that we can help simplify to the users, present to the users the best. I can go into how we do this part about that more, but here's what I'm thinking about right now.
How many
on
users
the users
at the moment in Trust Wallet?
We have close to 150 million downloads now in terms of the latest number. And about 10 to 20% of them are active on a monthly basis. So like 15, 20 millions are active on a monthly basis.
On the monthly basis.
Yes.
Now, it's actually a good question I want to ask. Binance, since you are ex-Binance, it's the largest exchange in the world in terms of users, right?
Yes.
And maybe volume as well. Now, Trust Wallet, it's a separate product.
Yeah.
It's totally decentralized.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How also, and there are so many centralized exchanges. Also, there are so many decentralized exchanges.
Yes.
But how Trust Wallet, which is a late product,
yes,
compared to some of the other companies are out there.
Yeah.
It's a bit late stage than other ones, right? How did it manage to become number one downloaded wallet in the world?
Yeah. There are a couple of reasons. The first reason, which I think that lasts us for 7 years, which is important, is don't leave the table.
First of all, congratulations for the 7.
Thank you. Yeah. There are many of the good wallets out there, but many of them didn't even survive some of this, very small single security challenges. And if you're building a wallet, if you have never experienced security issues, either you're not big enough or you didn't survive or you're lying. Either one of those issues. So I think being able to survive this longs are proven record for some level of the trust that the user can have with us in doing the right thing for them.
I remember something, actually it's good for the audience.
Yeah.
One time you guys had a big FUD on Trust Wallet,
Yeah.
that people wallet got drained, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And when we went to check, and I also checked
Yeah.
to see what's happened,
Yeah.
it were actually other 2 wallets. They started creating the wallets in other platforms,
Yes.
but because these wallets are not capable enough to give them what they are looking for,
Yeah.
they use the same seed phrase,
Yeah.
and
Import
they import it to
Yeah.
Trust Wallet.
Yeah.
So that's very, very important, guys. If you are new to the space, even if you're old, if you're using, let's say, Trust Wallet today, be sure you're creating your wallet in Trust Wallet.
Yeah.
Because when you are creating your wallet in a different platform and then you don't like it, and then you try to import the seed phrase or whatsoever private key to Trust Wallet, you are under the risk of getting exploited from the old wallet because maybe the audit is not enough, maybe there is a backdoor, maybe etc. So it's a very, very important. People lost a lot of money and then they all found that they were using other 2 wallets. I don't want to mention their name. I'm quite sure you know them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, that's very, very important because that's a common mistake people doing.
Yeah.
They think if they just move the private wallet there, they are safe. No, Habibi, you did it in the other place. You are under the audit and which is the other wallet is giving you when you're creating, remember?
Yeah, exactly. So if the wallet private key creation process has vulnerability, then no matter what other wallet application you use with that faulted private key, you are at risk.
So
that's the background.
Create using Trust Wallet. If you, of course, do your own diligence, but if you're happy with Trust Wallet, create right away Trust Wallet. Don't import private keys from a different place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think that trust happens with whether we take our code really seriously. We also do open source review with the community. We got feedback, suggestions all the time. So security is not 100% things, but you wanted to be able to improve on it very quickly and responsively. So there are also moments that we might make mistakes. I'm not saying that like everyone's perfect. There's no mistakes. There are definitely sometimes mistakes happen. In those moments, we reimburse to fault users 100%. Like recently, there was a feature that we help users to migrate BEP2 tokens to BEP20 tokens. With the first version of it, there was some issue that the migration of the token was lost. We find it out. We we identify which are the wallet addresses that unfortunately suffer from this bug. We refunded them all without even the users requesting refund from us. We're just like, this is the right thing to do. Users shouldn't be suffering from our mistakes. And fortunately enough, we can support that. Financially, we can support that giving back, then we always give it back.
That's why I always say, in trust, I trust.
Yeah.
That's my slogan, by the way, from 7 years now.
Thanks. Because I feel that sometimes, the most foundational things for being a wallet, of course, it's trustless wallet. People can verify code. People should do their research. But fundamentally, sometimes human makes mistakes without doing all the research. It's not possible. You're not going to review every line of the code when some new updates are happening. Then we have to hold the integrity and set up the right standards to say that this is the right thing to do. We did it. We hope the industry can follow us. If you want to be a good wallet player, follow what we do. You will help the entire industry, help the users better, and you create trusts that users can continue to be with us. And sometimes it can be that our product is not the best. But in challenging moments, when users need to trust somebody, they can trust us. We want to be that foundational bottom line. And that's the best retention strategy. Users can go anywhere, always use different products. In bear markets, our market share grows so much, 2x. It's because people playing everything around, ultimately, if they want to have rest, they want it to be something, be somewhere that they can trust, and they be with us. And I think that's the foundation. That's the most important foundation. Then the growth comes from, can you do product better? Can you do operations better? Can you do partnerships or benefits better? Those are the things that, from product side, the only thing that we are really focusing on doing is simplify things. There are many fancy wallets, product features out there. I think they are fantastic and great, and they really serve some experiences. But our focuses are helping the 0 to 90% of the users with their most important basic needs that they can navigate through, build confidence, and don't need to worry about much. Then they can go anywhere else that we don't do as well. There are other wallets do better. We're totally fine. That's an industry, upstream, downstream. We cannot always do everything. But then we wanted to help simplicity to help people to feel confident. Oh, I can do that. I master that. And that is a very important, I would say, empowerment for user growth in our space. Many people just got scared. Many people doesn't even know how to do the first step. And it's challenging, I'll have to say. Sometimes users asking questions that really made me feel, oh my, you probably shouldn't use us. But then if I say that question, then I'm not having the right mentality to be the gateway to welcome the next 1 billion users to come in. We have to accept the fact that users don't know anything. Then what can we do to help them get confidence? It's challenging. You were telling me that, hey, are they the right value of the users to focus on, etc.? They might be low ROI for us at the moment, but we want to walk with them in their Web3 journey, that they can trust us, they can be confident, then they become high value for the industry later on.
Also, education is always a key, and teaching people.
Yeah, it's hard though.
It is hard because their motivation is not education. Their motivation is just to make money.
Yes.
And here where mistakes usually happen because they are in a rush, and they don't want to read.
It's the human greed.
The human greed, exactly.
That usually are fall for scams or a lot of the security 100%. Challenges. So I think the second thing is that people do find us simple enough to be the first one that they are with. And even nowadays when we do products, it's like how to make things simple is the most important thing. Right now, technically, what we're trying to make things simple will be some buzzwords like chain abstraction, but we're really going to work on it. Ultimately, the vision is any token, any chain. You don't need to worry about it. Because we support 100 chains, 65 of them are non-EVMs. It's like you don't have to really struggle with the concept of chains. Then you can move wherever that you want, just like the logistics system that Amazon built behind the scene for e-commerce system. That I do believe that swaps, bridges, all the technology that supports a good swap and bridge experiences ultimately should be like anywhere, any token. But that might take some while, and you might need to take some technological breakthrough to get there. So those are the simplicity. always simplifying things is the second important criteria. And the third one is what we're experiencing at the moment. Of course, we are on the way to learn, is how to give people better opportunity to discover. We are just making the buckets. Now we need to fill in the content, and we need to work with the industries, because the industries project also suffer from the fact that they don't know how to best engage with the users to grow. There are enough manipulations. There are enough taking advantage of on the right, on the left. So how can we be a platform and with some of the Web2 and even Binance's experiences to create a long-term sustainable growth model for both the projects, good standing project, right? Not the one that just want to take advantage of the users in short term and leave, but good projects that want to grow their real on-chain user base and take things to the next level. How can we be sowing seeds for them? And then whether they can make it or not, it's of course their development, their operations. But can we be a guide to help them a bit while this good opportunity and good projects can be discovered by our user base? It's definitely challenging. I think exchanges are exploring that. Many of the other platforms are exploring that. What's the right model? How to see through scams? How to truly find good opportunities? I think sometimes it needs to take a first step in order to learn. Just like Victor sends me the 5 BNB, if you never ever own something on your own wallet, you never have the taste of self-custody.
Because then you're going to start by watching the price.
Yeah.
And then it's like discovery.
Yeah.
Step by step. But there is that small bait to makes you come and just learn about it, right?
Yeah. For users, it's that. For companies, it's also the same thing. You got to take your first step. You're going to feel miserably, but then that's your MVP and you have to iterate that through.
True. 100%.
I think our team is right now learning how to build the foundational buckets and iterate it through with each side, right? How to make the core wallet experiences, swap, fiat on-ramp, off-ramp great, the key management great, right? The security warning, and how to even figure out this nebulous industry hasn't figured out user growth discovery model, that data ownership models, taking that failure MVP and iterating through from there. Yeah.
See, maybe we shared a few points offline.
Yeah.
But like one of the things, because now you mentioned AI several times, don't you think AI and let's say, again, it's just something in my head just came.
Yeah.
You just, let's say, adding AI and Trust Wallet. Well,
yeah.
There will be like, X now, Twitter, there's something called community where they like report something together if it's bad, and you see like, okay, this get blah, 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 being reported as a scam or fake, and it just get fed by the community, like once you accept them in Trust Wallet.
Yeah.
And they get accepted where they help the user. Like, to be honest, one of the things that annoys me today in Trust Wallet, even though I'm maxi of Trust Wallet from day one, right? The industry changed. Before we used to have, a project every month. Yeah. Now we have 50 projects in an hour.
Yeah. Yes.
And people are too much degens, right? They want to just go buy it.
Fast, yes.
And every time I have to go, open Trust Wallet, go to receive, add anything fake, like a X12, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they say, we cannot find it. Then I go add, customize. Then by default, I see Bitcoin even. I don't know how many people are adding Bitcoin things. Then I have to go. I'm telling you, see how many processes I'm going now.
Yes.
I have to go and I go to, for example, Ethereum.
Yeah.
I paste. I wait 3 seconds. It shows. I add. I go to my wallet. I refresh my wallet to see the value, and I don't see a dollar value as well. Just see numbers until it grows. So maybe adding AI, where I just need to put the contract.
Yeah.
And the community who are a part of the machine learning of this AI, right? LLM. They add the values to make it triggered or not, right?
Yeah.
And then if it's okay, and it shows right away in my wallet. I just need to paste, and the AI will do this part for me.
Yeah. I think there are lots of opportunity on how to use the AI as a tool to facilitate or enhance the user's experiences in UI UX. So that absolutely is. I think there are bigger opportunity in the industry with AI is the data ownership for the users. And this is when we chatted offline. the Web3 narratives, why that's different from crypto, right? Is because the data ownership and the economic values that's coming out of it. And what if imagine the world later on is users controlling the data and the access in the way? Of course, every company will have marketing budget because every company will want to grow. True. There will always be a moment that there will be those budgets to use to cultivate growth of the user base. How to distribute that fairly is actually a blockchain community question. If we can figure out a better way to allow that to happen so that it's a win-win-win situation, right? Users win, creators win, and then the platforms win, the advertisers win, then we can totally overthrow the $1 trillion Web2 industries. Or they will be forced to have to adopt blockchains to allow that distribution systems to happen. But how that works, that I'm just describing a vision. How that actually happens is way more complicated and hard. But that's the Web3 narratives that the industry might need to think about or explore or opportunity to come from. That's independently from DeFi. That assets itself has value class. How about data itself can become the shovels that gives you opportunities, give every single user's opportunity in the future. And users can create valuable footprint, valuable content, and they're incentivized to do so. Then maybe in the future, if AI did take over 80% of the production forces of the society, humans still have good values, and those are knowledge-based, those are content-based, those are meaningful interaction-based to help train the AIs in a better way. Those are my brainstorming. Of course, we're sharing so much on this show, but they are so far away. They're not even exactly tied to wallets. But ultimately, the theme is still the same. How to give people better ownership, how to give people better control, that ultimately they can be empowered to do better. Does it go through wallet as a platform? Ideally, I hope so. That's why I'm very focused on exploring all of these things. Maybe wallet is not the best platform to do so. Then I also wanted to share those ideas to the industry to see whoever that might take up that mission and build something great.
He can, if someone has something or is building something, maybe as well they can come to you and become a part of ADAP, for an example.
Probably, yeah.
And integrate. But of course, security measurement should be done, and auditing would be also done.
But something important to keep in mind is those kind of things I described are 5 to 10 year stuff. Our industry needs more long-term thinking. And you mentioned about building legacies. I do hope that something, if every company leaves a mark. I think Bitcoin Satoshi leaves a fantastic mark about the decentralization mindset, how to truly build a decentralized community that where the creators disappear can truly run on its own. I think that's unheard of, except for religion. Some sort of religious community are decentralized like that. And, Binance leaves a fantastic legacy, I think, for user focus. Community grown based user focused product and iterated through. I think that's one of the best legacy that Binance leave. If I were to be humble enough to say that if any legacy I hope to make, besides product, besides the impact for user growth, I hope to leave a team or some decision makings or principles that how to do things with integrity, with a growth mindset, iterative mindset, and leave a talent that can go even elsewhere outside of Trust Wallet later on to build something great, but with the values, with the integrity, with the user impact and user focus in the longer term. Then that will be what I feel, hey, I really think my mission has, I will feel very rewarding beyond what the product, what the company, and what the practical impacts.
I always say people are 3 types.
Yeah.
Someone when he leaves, no one even remember him, right?
Yes.
Someone when he leaves, people are cursing him, and that's the worst.
Yeah.
But few when they leave the legacy, so people mention them always in a good way.
Yeah.
And there are very few in Web3 to find actually, but they are remarkable. Now, aside again for Trust Wallet, I've heard I was in Twitter space 3 days ago. They were talking about a launch pad or something.
Yeah.
Tell us about this. Give us some alpha.
Yes. So
Legions love this, trust me.
Yes. People know Launchpad on the centralized exchange, right? It's a great opportunity both for project to do token distributions in a way that's healthier for the projects and the token, and for user growth. For the users, it's a great opportunity to discover something new. And of course, it adds utilities to the tokens. So this launch pool exercise will fall into what I described in this. The industry have all sorts of exploration for user growth side, but all the centralized platforms, even a few days ago, I was seeing a news that people are criticizing Scroll for going to Binance's launch pool in a very centralized way. They say that you bow to Binance. I'd be like, can we figure out a more decentralized way to help the project to achieve the same goals and purposes, and also help on-chain communities to able to accumulate and grow before they hit the IPO moment or the exchange listing moment, because that will be healthier for projects later on if you can accumulate the on-chain.
And we've seen now what happened with the meme tokens recently, and the term called cabal, which is like organized people who are pumping the projects, and then they all want to be listed at tier 1 exchange, where the place they use the major retailer in that exchange as their exit liquidity to cash out, right?
Yes.
And, we've seen the last one where Binance listed was sitting at 15 million market cap.
Yeah.
Since when a tier 1 exchange listed a project at 15 million market cap?
Yeah.
But they meant, and they wrote in the article, they're doing this just to be sure they are looking for the real decentralized community.
Yeah.
That people behind it, and tier 1 is no longer a place, tier 1 exchange is no longer a place for people to exit liquidity. It's a place where people can actually make money as well, and find a better liquidity pools and order box, right?
Yeah.
And it was a great move. And I think with your idea now also, it's a complementary to the same mindset.
Yeah, it's an experiment. It may work, it may not work, but we want it to work as a test net for exchange listing, to give the project a chance to, again, massively accumulate on-chain communities. But of course, you have to be a good project for the community wanted to hold you or keep you or engage with you, etc.
It's still decentralized, right?
Yeah, it's decentralized.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can come and launch. They don't need to get a permission from you.
It's a smart contract, so it's like a user to users. We just define the rules.
Okay. But again, there is no person. It's decentralized.
Yeah, exactly. So we want it to be safer, right? Like people can know how the distribution happens, or like what are the wallet addresses, etc. And to also the project's benefit, we also have off-chain data. Right, we know like beyond the on-chain data sometimes can be manipulated. Our off-chain data, we know exactly is this going to be a workshop through-ish, like how to say manipulated decentralization, where there's true users like with high cost, like one device, launch pool, etc. that can get that decentralization.
When is it going to launch?
This week.
Oh.
This week will be the first one. But of course, as I said, MVP, first one, we're going to see how that goes and iterate it from here. We want to be a platform that helps the projects get a chance to be discovered and grow, and for the community in decentralized way before exchange listing to find something and discover something. And the data, the performances, all this thing can come up, may be able to help projects to get exchange listing or get VC fundings later on, because this is not a manipulated workshop way through some of the decentralization. So it has better credibility for their negotiations as well. This is ideal. We will see how we iterate from here.
I mean, that's always, it's always, Web3 is new.
Yes.
And we're still learning.
Yeah.
And we also trial and error. As long as your intentions are good, things will be good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Eowyn, which is, people call her as well Eowyn Chen. It depends on every
how
book
people know me.
and every book, exactly. She started, as we heard, in Web 2, and then she jumped in Web 3 to assist one person. Today she's assisting 150 million person, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Always use trust. Trust is the place that I think most of the people knew Web3 and decentralized using trust in their mobile apps.
Yeah.
And that's the way it will always be.
Yeah. Help us, any of the community members, please reach out to me on Twitter or Telegram, however that you find me. Please give me feedback. We definitely want to do better. As I said, we clearly need to improve, and there are many rooms for us to improve. And your voices, how you use product, what your pain points are extremely valuable for us to build. So Elja, I really appreciate the platform. And
Thank
if
you
your
for
company
coming.
have anything, please let me know.
Thank you for coming. It's not just a room.
It's the Room of Eljaboom.
Let's go.
Let's
We out
go.
in Quirksville, big shout out to Doom. I'm looking at the floor price, hey Brody, where the chain came by, just sterling, ain't nothing plated. If we can't support each other, none of us gon' make it. You a real friend, I'll probably scoop you in my